Aidan White, as the director of the Ethical Journalism Network, and Dorothy Byrne, the chair of the Ethical Journalism Network. The title of your event today, Report Reveals How Corruption Inside Media is Killing Ethical Journalism. Are we really sure it's going that far?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's certainly going that far in some isolated places, but the report is highlighting the process of decline, which actually means that rather stark situation can apply everywhere. So yes, it's a sort of an alarm bell that we're ringing about what's happening in journalism and what journalists themselves and editors themselves and owners in media really need to do to start protecting journalism.
Dorothy, how do you feel they can protect journalism from the newsroom?
What's really interesting in the report is that journalists in many different countries across different continents are talking about the same sorts of problems. For example, being asked to do paid-for journalism where it is not clear who has financed the editorial content. And what's very important is that journalists talk to each other about these problems and come together and form ethical codes together so that they are in a position to say, no, I won't do that.
It's not as if paid-for journalism, as you put it, is a new thing, though. Do you feel that the problem is just becoming particularly severe of late?
It's very interesting that across the 18 countries surveyed, it was felt that paid-for journalism has become a much greater problem than it was. It was always there, but perhaps because of increased commercial pressures on newspapers, it would appear that it's got worse. And it's really important that journalists should stand out against this, because it's only right that the reader should know if an article has been paid for by a politician or by a company, that is not a proper independent piece of journalism. We have a duty to our readers and to our audiences to give them proper, duly impartial information, not paid for directly by any specific party.
Question to both of you then to finish. Do you feel there is genuine hope of being able to combat this problem?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that there is, within journalism, there is real resistance growing. More and more journalists are getting themselves together to try to defend their profession. For example, we see a strong growth in investigative journalism networks in many regions of the world at national level and regional level. And I think there is a sort of powerful movement beginning to develop inside journalism, for instance, the way that this report has been received suggests to me that people inside journalism are aware of the problem, they recognise it needs to be discussed openly, and I think they'll be prepared to try and push for change. So I think there are reasons to be optimistic. I don't think it's all bleak altogether.
Most people enter journalism because they want to do good and they care about the society that they live in. And therefore, they are not comfortable with these sorts of practices. And I think what's important about the launch of this report today is that we're beginning to really talk about it. The report is called Untold, and I think it's just very important that we all start in each country really revealing the truth about what's happening. That's the beginning of action.